Hey there, everyone. Today's the day where I'm going to be saying who I think is the GOAT of every single UFC weight class. Let's get right into this. So, starting off with the 125 division flyweight, I have Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. I really don't think it's that close. He has 11 title defenses, two wins over Benavidez, two against Marias, and a win against Cejudo. One of the biggest knocks that people have against this guy is that the level of competition that he was facing might not be up to par against maybe some of the other goats on this list. But I mean, listen, this guy he has highlights for days, fights anyone that he was offered. Um, this is truly a guy that you want to put someone onto the sport of MMA, you show them highlights of Demetrius Johnson. I mean, I really think he's just miles ahead of everyone except Alexandre Pantoja, the current flyweight king, is getting actually pretty close to beating Demetrius Johnson. I would say maybe two or three title defenses away from possibly overtaking Demetrius Johnson's throne. But yeah, as of right now, Demetrius Johnson is the greatest flyweight of all time. Now, moving on to the bantamweight division. This one was hard for me, man. I personally have Murad Dvalishvili. It's really hard for me putting someone with only one title defense in as the goat of the division. But I mean, there was a lot of guys who could have made it, like possibly T.J. Dillashaw, possibly Aljamain Sterling. But I mean, if you look at his best wins, he has a win over Piotr Jan, Sean O'Malley, Jose Aldo, Marias, Cejudo, and Umar Nurmagomedov, who he just beat to defend his title for the first time. Now, a lot of people thought that he was going to lose against O'Malley, and then he beat O'Malley. A lot of people thought that he was going to lose against Umar Nurmagomedov because Umar was too good of a striker. Marab had never faced a grappler like him before, but nope, Marab goes out there. He loses the first two rounds, and then he just shows off in front of a crowd of thousands of people and absolutely embarrasses Umar Nurmagomedov. Um, I mean, the guy's gas tank is unmatched. He is on a super long winning streak. He's entertaining to watch. A lot of people don't like watching wrestlers, but he's not like a lot of these other wrestlers like Mario Bautista or Mateus Gamrot. Like he is a very entertaining wrestler to watch. Um, pretty good jujitsu. He can get people into some submissions. The striking wasn't actually bad in the O'Malley or the Umar fight. He obviously, as we already said, has a great gas tank. So yeah, I mean those are all reasons why I think Merab Dvalishvili is the bantamweight goat. All right, moving on to the 145-pound division, featherweight. Now, I personally have Alexander Volkanovski as my featherweight goat. He has six title defenses. He beat Max Holloway three different times, which that itself is just a ridiculous stat. He beat Yair Rodriguez, Jose Aldo, and that was a good Jose Aldo that he beat. That was a 31, 32-year-old Jose Aldo, probably in his prime. He beat the Korean Zombie and he beat Brian Ortega. Ortega was he was giving Volk a hard time. He got him into some submissions, but Volk found his way out of them. And I personally don't think Volk is going anywhere. This might be delusion, but I really do think Volk will beat Diego Lopez at UFC 314 to take back what's his in the 145-pound belt. He he gave Islam Makhachev probably his hardest fight yet. Um, I I think he did a great job against him. One of the fights he obviously got knocked out. That was the second one, but his first one he took him to a decision. And a lot of people thought that he might have won that fight. So yeah, let's move on to the 155 division. So for the lightweight 155 division, I have Islam Makhachev. He is he has four title defenses and is still going. So he could get way more, and I think he will get way more. He beat Alexander Volkanovski, as we just talked about twice. He beat Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, Charles Oliveira, and Arman Sarukian all by finish, except for Volk one time. But he beat all of them. He still has a lot. He still has a long way to go to dethrone probably John Jones for the greatest fighter of all time. But I don't think he's as far as some people make it seem. He's only going to get more title defenses from here. I think he beats Ilia Topuria. I think he beats Charles Oliveira again. I think he beats Gaethje. I think he beats all those guys, and that would put him at what 7, 8 title defenses. His striking is very good. His grappling's very good. His jiu-jitsu's unmatched. He has a great gas tank. Doesn't really get tired. And he's just a fighter, man. He will go out there and he will scrap with you till the end, and I love that about him. So, yeah, Islam Makhachev, GOAT of 155. Now, welterweight. This one was another pretty easy one. Georges St. Pierre is the greatest welterweight of all time. I don't even think we need to spend much time on this, but he had 9 title defenses, which is the second most of all time behind John Jones and Mighty Mouse. His best wins, he beat Matt Hughes twice, BJ Penn twice, Carlos Condit, and Nick Diaz. He beat them all. All of those wins have also aged very, very well. Nick Diaz ended up aging really well. He had a great career for himself. Georges St. Pierre, just one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He mixed the striking in with it. He had a gas tank that was crazy. He was a guy that could keep the pace up for 25 minutes. He could go another 5 rounds if he needed to. I just think that he is unmatched in the 170 division. I did have Kamaru Usman right under him. If Kamaru Usman did end up beating Leon Edwards in that fight, in their last fight where he got, or not the last fight, but in the fight where he got knocked out cold with a minute left, I do think that he would still be the welterweight champion, and I do think that he would overtake Georges St. Pierre. But since that did not happen and Leon Edwards had KO'd him, Georges St. Pierre is here, and he's here to stay for a while. So, yeah, welterweight king, Georges St. Pierre. All right, now moving on to middleweight. This is probably going to be the most controversial pick of the entire video, but I personally have Israel Adesanya. Now, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking, and you guys are probably all thinking, oh man, like, there's no way he's better than Anderson Silva. Like, there's just no way. I'm here to disagree. I mean, 5 title defenses. He beat Alex Pereira, who, in my opinion, beating Alex Pereira is better than Anderson Silva's entire resume. He beat Robert Whittaker 2 times. He beat Paulo Costa, Jared Cannonier, and Kelvin Gastelum. Now, every single one of those wins is shaping up to age very, very well. Now, a lot of Anderson Silva's wins did not age incredibly well. But let's just take a look. So, Pereira, still the light heavyweight champion, and I think we could see him as one of the greatest fighters of all time in a few years if he keeps doing what he's doing. Robert Whittaker, probably the 3rd best middleweight in UFC history. He beat him twice. Paulo Costa, another great middleweight. Jared Cannonier. Cannonier's coming off of a win against, RoboCop. And then Kelvin Gastelum shaped up to be, one of the greatest fights of all time between him and Kelvin Gastelum. But Kelvin Gastelum also went on to have a pretty nice career for himself. Izzy he brought a certain type of striking to MMA and UFC that we have not really seen that much. And it's just a shame how his last 2 fights ended, but we'll move on. So 205, this is another one, light heavyweight. John Jones is the GOAT. There's no denying John Jones is easily the GOAT. 11 title defenses, beat Alexander Gustafsson twice. He beat Daniel Cormier once, was going to beat him a second time, and then ended up in a no contest. He beat Shogun Rua, Lyoto Machida, and Vitor Belfort. Some pros of John Jones, he's just, he is a bit of a pillow puncher, I won't lie. His striking is very good. Not necessarily the power in his hands, but something that I've learned to appreciate about John Jones is he knows exactly where to attack you at the right time. He will pick apart your body, and then in the fifth round, if you even make it that far, your whole body is just destroyed. So your legs are destroyed, your liver's destroyed, your even your arms, your head, like everything is just pounding, and then he goes in for the kill. And when he can't piece you up striking, he'll just take you down and submit you. Cyril Gane, probably a better striker than John Jones. Went in there, submitted him in the first round. Easy. Put him to sleep. Um, who else? DC, one of the, if not the greatest wrestler in UFC history, went in there and ragdolled him. A lot of people like to talk about his steroid use, which I do agree that put him at an incredibly unfair advantage, but you can't deny the greatness that is John Jones. So that's my pick for 205. And then on to the heavyweight division. My personal GOAT for the heavyweight division, and probably a lot of others, is Stipe Miocic. 4 title defenses. His best wins came from beating Francis Ngannou, which has ended up aging incredibly well. Francis Ngannou was just on an absolute tear until he got beat by Stipe Miocic. And Ngannou, like, he is... I mean, to beat him, if people were asked... If any UFC fighter was asked to fight him, a lot of them would say no because of the sheer power that he held in his hands. And he almost seemed unbeatable for a while until Stipe Miocic went in there and beat him. He beat Daniel Cormier twice, who is like I said, one of the, if not the greatest wrestler in UFC history. He beat him twice. He beat Alistair Overeem, who also seemed like an unbeatable giant. And then he also beat Andrei Arlovsky. So, I mean, this guy's resume is just ridiculous. He is one of the greatest. He's probably the greatest heavyweight boxer in history. One of the better boxers in UFC history. You can't deny the greatness that Stipe Miocic is. Now, a lot of people want to talk about how he just lost to John Jones, but let's keep in mind that Stipe Miocic, what was he, 42, 43 years old? And the fact that he lasted 3 rounds with John Jones is ridiculous in itself. So, so he's my GOAT for heavyweight. So, I hope you guys liked this video. More will be coming for sure. So, just let me know in the comments if you guys liked it. Make sure to leave a like, and let me know what you want to see next. See you guys later.